What's up, folks? So someone asked on one of my videos yesterday about a Dark Angels list, and if I could go through a Dark Angels list I thought was interesting. So I have one for you, and actually I have two. This is the first one, but we'll get to the slightly more tech-filled one on a later video. This one I just think is really blunt, straightforward, kind of love it. So this is from the Welcome to Thundermania 2. Obviously I get all my information from Goonhammer, go see them. This was a 33-player, 5-round tournament over in Ohio. So nice number of players, but a really interesting list here from Keith Peck. He's running Dark Angels, Wrath of the Rock Detachment. So Wrath of the Rock, that means his unit, if the strength is higher than the unit's toughness, they are -1 to wound, so harder to kill them. And they've got a couple of really cool bits of tech in there in terms of stratagems. Inescapable Justice, 2 CP, pick a new oath target. Really strong. You do it when you destroy the previous oath target. Tactical Mastery for advance and charge, 1 CP, very straightforward. And then my personal favorite from the whole Wrath of the Rock is Leonine Aggression. So it's an Adeptus starters unit within 3 inches of an enemy unit, or a Deathwing unit within 6. And they can do a charge after your opponent's charge phase. So it's basically a buffed up version of Heroic Intervention. But Deathwing, going in 6 inches away, really nice. Okay, so what does he have in the list? He's got an Ancient Terminator armor. It's got that +1 OC buff, really useful. Gives a bonus to hit and wound, so stuff between below starting strength, below half strength. Kind of useful with attack. Obviously, it's going in with some knights. He's got the Deathwing Assault enhancement on that, which means they can deep strike in on turn 1. Brutal having a bunch of knights drop down with that turn 1, wherever they need to be, coming in. All right, he's got Azrael, which is very standard in Dark Angel lists. I don't see one without Azrael. If he's in a unit, obviously he's dishing out sustained hits. He's farming a command point a turn. I'm not sure what unit he's in, and you'll see why as we go on. I suspect he might be wandering around his own. I didn't get to see him play, but I think he's on his own. Because you've got a Judicia, 70 points just to give a unit fights first. Amazing. Don't know who he's here with. I'm going to assume he's with the Inner Circle later on. And then obviously got Lionel Johnson. I'll be frank, I'm really tired of seeing Primarchs in lists. But for his points, 300 points, 315, he's an absolute beast. You can pop him to strategic reserves at the end of each of your command phases. He's got aura buffs. Do you remember when this edition wasn't going to be all aura buffs? He's got aura buffs. He's devastating. I saw him go into a whole bunch of Orc Meganobs the other day and I just picked them up. There's no point. Okay, no battle line in this army. How's he pulling this off then? All right, so he's got a lot of tech units. He's got 2 units of Centurion Devastators. Last cannons, 3-man squads, re-rolling 1s to hit, re-rolling all if the target's on an objective. Absolutely brutal. They are just going to delete things. Okay. The meat of the army, though, is probably the 2 blocks of Deathwing Knights. Obviously, Deathwing Knight, -1 damage, nice invul save, flails to maces to smack monsters and vehicles around. One of those is probably hanging with the Ancient, coming in turn 1, doing a charge, brutal. We've got a Desolation Squad. My least favourite models in the Space Marine range. Maybe tied with the ATV. I don't know why I dislike them so much. I just think they look goofy. But they've all got the super crack. They're absolutely brutal. I'm not sure why you pick them over a tank for vehicle destruction. But for 200 points, I guess they are quite cheap for 5 of those horrible super crack launchers. 100-point infiltration squad. Infiltrator squad, always nice to see for that 12-inch bubble. A scout squad, cheap infiltrators. They scout forward. They can go back into strategic reserves. Nice cheap scoring unit. And then Inner Circle companions. 1 unit of them, -1 to hit them, +1 to hit characters. I suspect they're running around with the Judicia squad to give them +1 to hit. That's going to be quite brutal. So the reality is here, what have we got? We've got Centurion Devastators hanging back, putting some firepower on. They're also really tough with that 2+. They can just walk forwards, putting that fire down, be really brutal, push forward with the middle ground if they have to. 2 units of Deadwing Knights, dropping in wherever you need them, one of them dropping on the first turn, beating up anything that comes near them. Desolation Squad, hanging out wherever they want, near the back, shooting that super crack at anything they can see. And then you've got the Infiltrators, the Scouts, and those Inner Circle Companions to take that middle board and really put some beat down. And then obviously you've got Lionel Johnson. He's just going to mess up whatever you want and then ping away to somewhere else to mess up something somewhere else. So some good tech, very, very hard to kill anything in this army. You know, between the Centurions and the Deathwing Knights, a lot of resilience. He actually lost this round against Demons, and I get why, because their Demons are going to be able to handle how tough things are in this army. He's got greater Demons that can go in a toe-to-toe Lionel Johnson, pick up Centurion or Deathwing Knight squads, and that was going to be his issue. So if he played aggressive, which I think he did, he was going to end up losing the middle board. But lovely list, nice to see. A little bit quirky with the Devastator squads. Great stuff.